What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
And today we're back at it to answer more questions from yet another installment of For the Greater
WAAAGH. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. And that's what was his name?
Well, we do a thing called Super Thanks around here. Let them know.
So, YouTube rolled out this thing called Super Thanks. Basically, you guys could support the channel by sending us a neat little package of Super Thanks. If you do that, you can ask us a question, and we will guaranteed answer it, and we'll put it up as a thumbnail, or try to put it up as a thumbnail. You don't have to ask a question. You could just show your support by sending us a Super Thanks, and that is what
John Knipe did. His question is, do you guys have any recommendations for 40K non-Horus Heresy books?
No. And those were the questions for today. No, just kidding. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, there is an entire library of 40K themed books. The Horus Heresy is a huge one. Over 56 books. You also have the Siege of Terra that just started. But besides that, you do have like books that focus on the current timeline of Warhammer 40K. And I think the best ones, from what I've heard, is unanimously Gaunt's Ghosts.
I haven't read Gaunt's Ghosts, but yeah.
Anything with like Dan Abnett at the helm seems to be doing really well. Gaunt's Ghosts, Eisenhorn.
Eisenhorn for me is probably one of the best, specifically Xenos. Xenos is one of those books where like you read it, spoiler alert, you understand how terrible Chaos Space Marines are.
Yeah.
Specifically Slaaneshi Chaos Space Marines, but my god.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, playing the tabletop, you don't really get the nitty-gritty details of what you're really going up against.
Yeah.
And these novels give you those details, and it's like, whoa. Like, I would have never thought this, lowly, generic Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, is that bad. Yeah. But if I were to recommend any one book, mine would probably be Godblight. Godblight is pretty new when it comes to the whole library that is the Black Library of 40K books, and it pits Nurgle and Mortarion against the Imperium and Guilliman, and you get to see two Primarchs go at it, and it's a pretty epic battle.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, so the cool thing about that is you could actually play it out on the tabletop. Just get some Guillimans and Ultramarines and Death Guard and Mortarion, and you can see if what happened in the book can happen on the tabletop.
Yeah, and unfortunately, do they still sell that box set? Because it's not Indomitus, because Indomitus was Necrons.
It's the one for 8th edition.
Well, it was Godblight, right? Or is it
No, Godblight is the name of the book. But I want to say it was like... I can't remember the name of the box.
We did so many giveaways for that box because I felt like every little turn we did, like, oh, do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? So many people were giving away their Nurgle army.
Yeah, it was the introduction of Primaris Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it was such a hot seller.
Yeah. Next question comes from Aria816. What are the Halo stars and the Halo devices, and will you ever do a video on them? We can do one on both. They're very different. So the Halo stars are a region of space. It's kind of like the rim of the galaxy, kind of.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. And then the Halo devices, those are actual devices, kind of like, what are they called? Aren't they the, like in Mass Effect, they have those things that let you transport through space, kind of like the Dolmen gates.
Yeah,
but not really.
I was gonna say almost like a webway of sorts.
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah, it's how would you explain it?
The best way is just create a 40 facts video on it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which we will do.
Yeah.
As long as the Halo, because they're not the rings, right?
No, I want to say that's something else. But the Halo devices are Xenos tech, like they're not Imperial created.
Right.
And they're also found in the Halo area of space.
Yeah.
The Halo stars. So.
Which is Xeno create or control.
Right.
Good question, though. And we'll get more to it. More information later, I guess.
Yeah.
Next one.
Next question is by Space Marine. He says, one of the girls from Stranger Things just released an X-rated nudity music video. Was this her initiation as a Slaaneshi cultist?
Which one?
Yeah, I've never even heard of this. What?
Because that wouldn't really make sense, because unless it's Christy. Christy's the one that like dies in the beginning. Spoiler alert.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot.
Because the one that's always with the guy, Steve,
Mm-hmm.
she's like the daughter of like famous actors. There's no way she's doing OnlyFans. And then the other one is married to the actual person that she's dating in
Oh,
the
really?
show. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they're doing pretty good. They're both musicians, I think.
Oh, cool.
Not
Hey,
only
they're musicians. It's talking about music videos.
Well, yeah, maybe, but
Maybe.
not like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely, I could see that as an introduction to Slanesh.
Yeah.
I mean, humans are creatures of sexuality. We have a need to procreate. But unfortunately, that's not the only thing our genitals are good for. Trust me, Slanesh told me.
They're good for smacking. Next question comes from Gamers X.
When you said that, I just pictured Smacks, the frog from the cereal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you picture the frog
Yes.
and Janet? Okay, never
Yes.
mind. This question comes from Gamers X. Are you done with HeroClix overall, or is there a separate channel?
Wow, dude. I never thought we'd get that question. Wow. Are we done with HeroClix?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
We're not doing HeroClix ever again.
Yeah.
Not because like we don't like it or anything, but just we stopped playing. That was like years and years ago. The thing is completely new. If I'm gonna reinvest my time in a new tabletop game, on top of work,
40K,
family, all that kind of stuff, friends, it's gonna be 40K. Yeah. I have to dedicate myself to. We are tied to 40K forever. HeroClix is no more.
40K is our ball and chain. HeroClix was that Last Supper, I guess you could say.
Or I mean, the initial thing, right? The thing that got us back into it.
I guess so, yeah.
Because we played 40K for a really, really long time. We stopped, and then we played HeroClix, and we're like, we miss like big, badass games. And then we played them, and then now we're like, well, no, I mean, I don't think I ever missed HeroClix.
No, that's surprisingly, I agree with you on that one. As cool as it was to see, like, what if Superman fought against, like, Batman, or what if you did a Marvel versus a DC, or what if you did, like, Ninja Turtles against Dragon Ball Z, or something like that.
Yeah, it got a little, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it was just fun, and it's cool. Sometimes I go back to see, like, what the new sculpts of them are, because, like, the sculpts for a lot of the HeroClix from back in the day, they weren't that great.
They're trash.
Yeah, you usually had to like repaint them or something. But yeah, every now and then I do see them at like comic book stores and hobby shops, but I never give them two thoughts.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting, since we're on the topic of like that whole concept of like miniatures in like different universes. There's a new game coming out for like DC Marvel, where like it's basically like 40K but with superheroes, like small skirmish games, I guess.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to do well because the Star Wars game didn't do well.
Yeah, Legion.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have their little communities, but it didn't get to be some like huge, like, I don't know, like money grabbing IP, I guess.
And I think the big reason why is because of the kit bash and the sandbox element of 40K. Same thing with War Machine and Hordes. Like, they give you a universe and then they say, play with it. They don't say, here's a universe, you could use our characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that like does hold him back, because you know exactly who Iron Man is, what he does, how he plays, his whole personality and whatnot. And that kind of does hold him back by saying, like, well, I'm going to create my own Iron Man who can do this, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't know, let us know. If you guys play, like, Legion or, God, do you know the name of that Marvel game?
No, because it's kind of new, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that Marvel game.
Yeah.
That's a tabletop game.
Yeah. I mean, we recently played X-Wing.
Yeah. X-Wing was interesting, but again, I think it feels kind of like HeroClix. Where I don't think I missed that. Because if I wanted that element, I would just play Magic.
Yeah.
Magic is that kind of like...
Right. Because where 40K is a game that takes time, effort, time.
Yeah.
Magic is that thing that we could quickly play. And I think we were trying to get that with X-Wing. But even then, that kind of took a little bit.
Yeah, what's interesting is that now I've been watching a lot of like hobby YouTubers and stuff like that. And I keep getting recommended this new like So they're taking 40K, but making it so that you can play an hour-long game with all of the characters. Like, it's quicker, it's like fast-paced. I don't know what it's called. It's like Grim Dark, maybe, I think it's called. And there's like a bunch of like cool YouTubers that have played it, and they say they like it, but they all kind of say the same thing. Like, it's nice that it goes quick, kind of like HeroClix, because HeroClix was quick. But it sucks that like it usually ends in draws, or somebody always like it's a very
It's
like
like one-sided. Huh.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
But yeah, so hopefully in the future, no, we're probably just gonna stick to 40K and Magic.
Yeah. The only thing that did kind of grab my attention to keep this topic going is the Ravaged Star stuff from Mini Wargaming Dave.
Oh, I have not looked into that.
I haven't seen how the game's played, but I've seen the models, and they look interchangeable with 40K ones.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's just, I wonder how that game plays.
Yeah. There's something about, because I have seen the models, and there's something about the models that's kind of like the rounded edges. It's just weird. I don't know why that exists. Probably because of 3D printing, right?
I probably would assume so, yeah.
But yeah. And those were the questions for today. Thank you so much for sending those questions our way. If we didn't get to your question, ask again. And if you want your question guaranteed answered, please send us a super thank. It's a way to support the channel, and it's awesome.
That's right. If you can't, we understand. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing it to all your wargaming friends helps a ton as well. As always,
Gershwan,
the Sound Alchemist, and we are out.
Oh, I used to put my sweet